Video is beginning to matter more than ever. Attention spans are becoming fragmented and a lot shorter because of the rise of social media. Video generally cuts through a lot faster than text or content does.
Yeah, and I think that's definitely why video has moved from that nice to have to being essential. I mean, from your side, where do you think brands are feeling that shift?
Definitely when it comes to social strategies. Different social platforms are now centralising video over anything, and to have a strong video strategy woven in through that will do wonders for your brand.
Yeah, because I do definitely feel that trust does form a lot quicker, especially when you can see people's faces on camera, their personality comes through on the camera, and I do think that video does shorten that gap very early in that journey.
Definitely, and that can be done so easily as well through just things like team intros, behind the scenes, just simple walkthroughs. It doesn't have to be overproduced.
Yeah, and I do think there's this kind of big cloud over videos where if somebody is being asked to do a video, it's very much, it seems a lot of hassle or there's a lot to go into it, where actually when it's done properly, you've got the strategy behind it, it's not that complicated at all, and it does flow a lot easier.
Yeah, and that's why every time we approach a video shoot, we always go by some very clear rules that make it flow very easily. We have a lead on strategy, we have clear goals set before we even get the camera out, and we have a very clear objective, one objective going into every single video, and we try to avoid scattered content where we can.
And what do you mean by scattered content?
You know, where people just sort of go off on tangents and you lose sight of what the clear objective is or where they're actually answering your question.
Yeah.
We like to make sure that everything leads into that main objective that we started with so that everyone has a clear focus.
Yeah. And I suppose that's why kind of audience understanding matters. Having that planning does make them creative decisions a lot easier.
Yeah, and the planning question really kind of links nicely into video formats on the whole. Everyone's always asking us what's the difference between short form and long form video.
Yeah, because short form is still definitely mobile first and is still massive for that reach and discovery.
Yeah, I mean, with long form videos, there's always that chance that viewer fatigue is going to creep in, but you just need to make sure that you're optimizing your videos for platforms like YouTube, where people are turning to it for immediate answers.
Because I think if we look at it as an overview, you know, you've got your short form for the discovery, and then also your long form for that authority and the trust.
Yeah, and when people spend more time with your content, that has a knock-on effect everywhere else, especially in SEO. By its nature, video increases a person's time spent on a page and signals value to search engines.
Yeah, because things like AI and search do need the context, not just the nice, pretty visuals. You know, things like your transcripts, the structure, and also clarity does really matter.
And that's where I think things start to get really interesting going into 2026.
And I don't know if you've seen it already. I know I definitely have, is when I am searching for something and you do get the little videos come up at the top. You know, they are now appearing a lot more, and especially for you know, your generative engine optimization, that is now definitely becoming essential, because I just think people are looking for easier ways to find their answers these days.
Yeah, and people are really appreciating human-led content. They want authenticity and real expertise, and shoppable interactive video really just fundamentally reduces friction for the user.
Yeah, and I do feel that all of that only works if your videos are in the right place. You could have all of these videos but not actually distribute them properly. You know, we've really got to think about the key things. You've got your YouTube for search, your social for the personality, but then also your website for that engagement, and also to support marketing channels like SEO.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, views aren't everything. They are not the full story. Things like watch time and retention and conversions actually matter more when it comes to a business-led strategy.
Yeah, so when you zoom out and look at all of that together, you know, video is removing that friction. You're building trust a lot faster, and also it just supports that whole funnel from your marketing.
Yeah. We need to start thinking of video as a long-term asset and not just a trend.